Hello everyone and welcome back to Comparison World Facts. Today we're going to be comparing Qatar versus the United Arab Emirates. Have you ever visited either of these countries? Did you know that there are no rivers in the UAE? Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe so you don't miss our next upload. Starting off, both empires are located in the Middle East. They both have large amounts of coastline as well, great for recreational swimming. But more importantly, it allows both nations to make a great deal of money for their economy from commercial fishing. The UAE is estimated to make roughly 1 billion DH, or just over 270 million USD per year from fishing. Qatar brings in much less than the UAE, likely due to their smaller coastline, only having 560 kilometers compared to the UAE's much more extensive 1,318-kilometer coastline. As a result, Qatar only brings in roughly 115 million USD per year. Another way that being on the water is a massive bonus for these countries is through tourism. Although beachfront hotels are popular in Qatar and the UAE, both countries also offer deep-sea fishing tours. One significant similarity between the two countries is the oil. Qatar ranks within the top 15 countries globally for oil production, and the UAE ranks within the top 10. This is sure to be great for their respective economies. Another similarity between the two is the weather. Both are known for having desert climates, where they get very little rain. However, the UAE is drier and warmer, even in the winter. The UAE's dry season lasts from April to September. However, Qatar also has an impressively long season, from June to October, with both nations experiencing year-round sunshine. An exciting part of the endless sunshine is that Qatar regularly participates in 14-hour-long days of steady sunshine from May to August. Another similarity between the two countries is when they declared their independence as a nation. Qatar declared its independence on September 3, 1971. The UAE, not long behind, declared its independence just months later on December 2, 1971. Keep watching to hear more about the world's largest mall, the Dubai Mall. Another thing we have coming up for you is the odd laws in these two countries. Keep watching to find out. Up next, what are the differences between the two? So, you might have been wondering, what are the differences between the two? Well, one massive difference, no pun intended, is the geographical mass between the two nations. The UAE is over 7 times larger than Qatar. The UAE has a surface area of 83,600 square kilometers, with Qatar having 11,500 square kilometers respectively. Another significant difference is the population size between the two. Along with a larger area, the UAE has a much larger population, roughly 4 times larger, with a population estimated at 9.8 million in 2020. Meanwhile, Qatar has a much smaller population, which has been estimated to be at 2.4 million in 2020. One difference between the two is the vast amount of world records that the UAE holds compared to Qatar's small amount. The UAE has an incredible 425 world records. One of the most important of them is the Burj Khalifa, the tallest building in the world. Standing at over 828 meters tall with 160 stories, it's the tallest freestanding structure in the world according to the Guinness Book of World Records. Construction for the Khalifa took almost 6 years, starting in January 2004. The building finally opened for its multi-purpose use in early January 2010. The building is mainly used for restaurants, residential apartments, a hotel, offices, and a tourist attraction with multiple decks to look out on the city. Another world record that the UAE boasts is of the Burj Al Arab, commonly referred to as the world's only 7-star hotel, although it's only 5 stars. The hotel stands 321 meters tall, 14 meters higher than the Eiffel Tower. A fun fact about the hotel is their impressive 17-choice pillow menu, so you always get a great night's sleep. In addition, the 2 top chefs at the Skyview Bar and Restaurant within the Burj hold a whopping 5 Michelin stars between them. Another impressive world record the UAE holds is the largest shopping mall in the world. The Dubai Mall, located in downtown Dubai, has 4 floors, over 1,200 retail outlets, and around 160 food and beverage establishments. It also has just over an incredible 540,000 meters squared. The mall also has a 22-screen Cineplex theater, an Olympic-sized ice rink, and an aquarium. The aquarium is known for having crocodiles, sharks, penguins, otters, and many more animals. The UAE isn't the only two with records to brag about, though. The state of Qatar holds the world record for the world's giant water storage tank, with a massive capacity of 524 million liters of water at a time. Moreover, the Qatar water tank is located in Doha, Qatar. Another world record held by Qatar is the world's tallest indoor roller coaster, also located in Doha, Qatar, opened in October 2021. The ride stands an impressive 56 meters tall. It is located in a 27,500 square meter entertainment area with over 30 rides and attractions, including, of course, the world's tallest indoor roller coaster, the Epic Coaster. Would you be too scared to ride the Epic Coaster? We sure would be. So, which of the two would be better to be born in? How would your life differ depending on which of the two you were born in? If you were born in Qatar, your life might be worse than if you were born in the UAE. You'd be 3 times more likely to die during childbirth. Also, you'd be over 10% more likely to be obese. Another major downside is that you'd see less than half of the beautiful coastline you would know if you lived in the UAE. However, with all the disadvantages listed above, there's bound to be an advantage. So the most prominent edge of being born in Qatar instead of the UAE is that you could earn over 80% more money. Qatar has a GDP of $124,000 per capita, as opposed to the UAE's much lower $68,000 per capita. Surprisingly, Qatar has a much higher unemployment rate, sitting roughly at 9%, as opposed to the UAE's unemployment rate of 1.5%. So you might have an easier time finding work if you were born in the UAE. So which would you rather have been born in? Formula One racing has quite a significant presence in both. In Qatar, primarily at the Lusail International Circuit located just outside of the town of Lusail, which is north of Doha, Qatar. In addition, the Lusail Circuit hosted the Qatar Grand Prix in 2021. There is also a significant presence of Formula One racing in the UAE. Formula One first came to the UAE in 2007. It has now hosted the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix 13 times. These races typically have 58 laps. That's right, 58 laps. The next Grand Prix hosted at the Abu Dhabi F1 Festival will be November 17th to 20th, 2022. Do you plan on watching? Now on to some interesting facts about the two countries. Firstly, according to the most recent Numio Crime Index, Qatar is ranked as the second safest country in the world. Why is that the case? Likely because Qatar has a large police force for such a small population. Another reason there is minor crime is that, as we mentioned earlier, there is such a high GDP per capita, so there's less poverty than in most other countries. A final reason for this is that punishment for many crimes is stiffer than in many countries, as well as more strict laws that aren't as prevalent in other countries. For example, many public displays of affection are illegal. One example of this is kissing. You could be asked to leave or fined, especially in family-friendly areas. However, this is not to say that the UAE is any less safe. On the contrary, the UAE has been named the #1 safest country by the same Numio Crime Index. The UAE is known for having some uncommon laws. To name a few, it is illegal to have a dirty car in Dubai, which is odd because sandstorms are frequent. There have even been instances of vehicles being towed for being too dirty. According to the UAE Penal Code, you could be fined 10,000 DH and up to a year in prison for swearing. In many countries, that seems incredibly odd. And there you have it, everything you need to know about the comparison between Qatar and the United Arab Emirates. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment your thoughts on which country you'd prefer to be born in. Thanks for watching!